I moved to Fort Wayne about 2 years ago from Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. So, what was your experience like being in Fort Wayne?
I was pretty surprised by, I guess, the scene in Fort Wayne, the film scene. There's kind of a group that's kind of laying under the surface. That's kind of like a Portland type of situation. There are a lot of very art-minded people here that you wouldn't think or hear on like first glance at the city.
What would you describe yourself then as a documentary type filmmaker, or just you saw an opportunity
Um,
for this film?
Most I like through like my education, what I normally do. I'm normally a cinematographer. Um, so I mostly like to deal with narrative stuff, but just kind of recently branched into documentary for basically just this project. But after seeing all the events of this past summer and getting to kind of make something about it, I'm really hoping to kind of break into more of that in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was it that made you pull out the camera? And was it just you were there, or?
I saw on Friday night, the first night of the protests, I saw footage from Facebook and Twitter and everything about what was happening down there, and I was like, I need to be there for, I need to at least be there, hopefully with a camera, like helping to document what's happening, um, and just try and lend what I can do to the movement. And then it was afterwards that the the voice of the voiceless really like came together as a thing. It's mostly due to Marcel wanting to make a song and music video and interview and all that.
How did you guys link up? Was that?
So Marcel Flowstorm went to Morrison Agan, who he was going to record the song with, and then Morrison Agan knows Greg Locke, and I work with Greg for a normal day job. So we like, hey Dalton, do you want to come shoot this music video and maybe do an interview with this guy? I'm like, yeah, sure, totally.
This is your first time then being at the Hobnobben Film Festival.
Yes, yeah.
Can you give me your thoughts on it so far?
I'm really impressed about what was put together in the face of the pandemic that we're going through right now. It's heartening to see film festivals still being put together, and it's cool to see a film festival that's doing so well even in a small-ish town like Fort Wayne.
Can you tell me what you think about showing your film here at the embassy specifically?
Yeah, that was a really cool experience, honestly. Being able to see it on that huge screen um, in this like super ornate theater, it's kind of insane to like. I'm thinking, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna see it on this big screen. I'm gonna see all like the color issues, and I'm gonna see, I'm gonna be like, oh, I wish I'd done this differently. But it was a really cool experience, honestly, to
Good.
see it up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you think about having the panel afterward? How did that lift your story?
It was great to have, just to be able to listen to a conversation with people talking about these issues is a really, I think it's a nice thing for people that want to, I guess people that are socially minded and want to like get out and like hear people talk about these issues. It was great to like see a panel of people that could really like discuss these things. Um, yeah.
Were you impacted much by the audience sitting there with them?
Yeah, I think it was nice. I got to meet some people that came up and asking about the film and um, talking to me about it. It was nice to meet people and I guess talk to them about this film.
You guys are in a number of festivals so
Yeah,
far?
I think we're in 9 festivals, including this one. a number of them online. I think there's a festival in Australia that we recently played at, one in Italy, I think. Um, uh, Greg is the one that kind of like submits to like submitted the film to all these festivals. So I'm just hearing like, oh, we're in 9 different festivals. There's one in Australia, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I spent like 3 days editing this, maybe. Like, it's kind of insane to see it getting submitted into a number of festivals and actually getting accepted. Yeah, when the film was accepted here, I guess it kind of makes sense because it's a very local story and something that I'm sure that people are relating to since they experienced it. But it was really interesting to see it get accepted to to a film festival in like Italy, because it's like, oh, I guess that people in other countries are seeing what's happening here in, I guess, America generally, and are wanting to kind of share the stories from these protests and all the consequences of them. So it's interesting to see that kind of the story of what's happening here is getting spread to, I guess, all over the place.
So, anything else that you want to talk about, just your experience with Hobnobben?
I think the theater is gorgeous, and it was very cool to be here. I hadn't been here before, and it was really cool to see. I didn't hardly even know that this place like existed. I see the sign, and I'm like, oh, it's a little theater. I'm like, oh gosh, it's huge. It was cool to see this event happen for Fort Wayne, because I guess we get to come together as a community and watch some movies and talk about them, and it's cool. It's not a thing that we've been able to do in a while.
If someone else would ask you, like, hey Dalton, I heard you had a film in the festival in Fort Wayne, what would you say to them, like, if they were wanting to be a submitter?
I think you should definitely, submit a film, even if you, even if you like your story and you want people to see it and you want the story to get out there, submit the film. Just do it and be a part of this community in Fort Wayne.